students. Today we have to discuss a new chapter, Huttutu Huttutu. What is it? It's a game, Kabadi. In northern state, Huttutu Huttutu indicates the game Kabadi. Okay. This chapter explains about some games. Mainly, it focuses about Kabadi game. Okay, it focuses about Kabadi game. In our state, Kerala also plays Kabadi, like football and cricket. Okay, then we explained some rules of the Kabaddi game in this chapter, and we have to check it. Then after that, we have to discuss about Karna Malleshwari was a weightlifter. Okay, he got several achievements in her life and was a famous weightlifter. Then Jwala, Leela and Hira. We have to discuss about Jwala, Leela and Hira. They were old Kabaddi players in Mumbai. Okay, they were old Kabaddi players in Mumbai. We have to discuss about these three things in this chapter. Okay, let us start it.
You can see the picture of some children playing in the ground. You can see that picture in your first page of that chapter. Look at that figure and think about that game. How it is different from other games. It is an interesting game. You can see 7 children included in that game now. But there are 2 teams. Green jerseys for one team and yellow jerseys for another team. So in this picture you can see only one person wearing green dress and the others are weared the dress yellow. So one person competing the other 7 or 6 members in the other team. It's an interesting game. Just listen to the chapter. First read the sentences in your first page. Huttutu, huttutu, out, out. All the girls outside should shout it loudly. Huttutu, huttutu, hold from here, hold from leg, the leg, hold from leg. These are the noises produced by the players of Kabaddi. Okay. So continue to read. Make sure that Shamala's hand does not touch the line. Hold her hand. Huttutu, ho, he has touched the line. He has touched it. Out, out, all out. Ho, ho, your team is all out. These are the noises produced by a game Kabaddi. It's an interesting game. It's a very rough game. It's a very rough game. Take the next page. You can see a picture of Kabaddi game. In this picture you can see the picture of Shamala. He was go down and the other members roughly caught Shamala's hand and her leg and other parts. So the other members roughly caught Shamala, but Shamala touched the line after some time. That means the all members in the other teams are out. That is why there was a lot of noise produced at that ground. Okay, these are common for the game Kabaddi. Okay, read the text. What are these girls doing? They are shouting out, out. It is clear that they are playing a game. So they playing a game, and that is why there was a lot of noise produced at that ground. What do you call this game? There was a lot of names for this game Kabaddi in different states. Cheddugudu, Huttutu, Kukku, Huddudu, or Kabaddi something else. These are the names of Kabaddi game in different states. When 6 girls surrounded Shyamala and caught her, everyone thought that she was out. Somebody caught her legs, somebody her arms, while one girl by the waist. But Shyamala was not the one to give up. She dragged herself and managed to touch the line in the center. It indicates that all the other teams were out and Shyamala got win. When Shyamala touched the lane, all the girls of the opposite team were holding her, so all of the team got out. But Rosie argued that Shyamala had taken a breath in between, so the team was not out. Shyamala insisted that this was not true. She said that if she had taken a breath, why did the girls keep holding her? There was a big argument. Finally, Shyamala won. For every game, it produced a lot of noise in between the two teams. The same thing repeated here, but Shyamala won after a lot of arguments. There is some questions. When you play Kabaddi, how many players do you have in a team? Commonly, 7 players are there in a team. Then how many players got out when Shyamala touched the lane? All members got out because they all touched Shyamala. Next one. Do you have ways to resolve disputes in a game? Do you have ways to resolve disputes in the game? For every game, there is a lot of disputes and arguments. It is a common thing, but we want to listen to both the teams and decide who is the right based on the rules. Then next heading, the game of Kabaddi. So this is what a game of Kabaddi is like. Pushing, pulling, screaming and shouting, dragging and falling on the ground. It is a rough game, yet it has many rules. This game has many rules. It includes different activities: pushing, screaming, shouting, dragging, falling. It's a rough game. It is a rough game. It's a lot of fun and a lot of exercise, holding your breath while running and continuously saying Kabaddi, Kabaddi, and also trying to touch the players of the opposite team. So many things to do in Kabaddi. You can do this as long as you can hold your breath. Okay, this game includes a lot of exercises because the players play the game by holding the breath, so it also include breath exercise. Okay, you need to use both of your body and mind in this game. You have to use your strength to pull or stop the players at the same time. You have to think about how to enter the other side, and you have to decide whom to touch quickly and come back. If you get caught, then how do you reach the line in the center? To play the game properly, you need to focus on your body and the mind commonly. It includes both of your body and mind because it need it. Your strength is needed to push or pull the other members in your team, and also you want to think properly the correct way to enter into that team, enter into that column, and how you can leave from that team by touching any person. Okay, then take the next page. Next time when you play Kabaddi, focus your attention on your legs, arms and eyes. You will notice that good coordination is required between eyes, legs and arms. It is an important thing to play Kabaddi. To play Kabaddi, you need to focus on your legs, eyes and arms. A good coordination is required to play properly the game Kabaddi, that is the coordination of eyes, legs and arms. Then there are some questions. Make a picture in your notebook to show how Shyamala managed to get the entire opposing team out in one go. You want to draw a picture that you can see in page number 78. Okay, then what does it mean to be out in games? When does one gets out in Kabaddi? When does out a person from Kabadi. Out in a game means the person who disqualified in that game. Okay, that person disqualifies from that game for that match. That is mean by out. There are some rules. If anyone violates that rule, then he or she get out. Then in some games it is very important to touch the players. For example, in the game Cuckoo, you get out when someone touches you. You also get your turn by someone's touch. Name some games in which it is very important to touch the players. There's a lot of games by touching different members of team. Thief and police, ice and water, hide and seek. These are the games. You can extend this. Then in Kabaddi, the entire team was out because Shyamala had touched the line. What are the some other games in which the central line is very important? You want to write the games in which the central line is very important. Football, basketball, hockey. These are the examples for that such a game. What are the games in which besides the players you will have to touch some things or colors? Okay, you want to write the names of games in which the color or thing to touch is important. Marble, chess, ludo. These are the examples. Okay. Then do you play kabaddi? Is there a girls kabaddi team in your school? Do you think that your grandmother played kabaddi when they were your age? Ask them. You want to write whether you played game kabaddi. Yes or no? Okay. Is there a girl team kabaddi in your school? Is there any kabaddi team of girls? No. Okay, you also want to ask your grandmothers whether they played kabaddi or not. Okay, then you want to study about Karnamaleshwari. Karnamaleshwari was a famous weightlifter. Have you seen or read about her in newspaper? Karnamaleshwari is a weightlifter. She lives in Andhra Pradesh. Her father is a police constable. Maleshwari started lifting weights when she was 12 years old. Now she can lift a weight of 130 kilograms. Karnamaleshwari was a famous weightlifter. Her father was a police constable, that is why she started her career from 12 years old. So he was become a famous person who can lift 130 kilograms. Karnamaleshwari has won 29 medals in international events. Her four sisters also practice weightlifting. So the whole family were famous weightlifters. Then a story of three sisters. You can see three sisters, three grandmothers in your textbook page number 81. Look at this picture. Don't they look like simple grandmothers? But they are different. The picture is of the three sisters Jwala, Leela and Hira. They live in Mumbai. All three of them played Kabaddi and taught their game to the others. So these three grandmothers are from different families and they were older Kabaddi players in Mumbai. They also taught children, that is, they are coach of Kabaddi games. Jwala tells, when we were young, girls were not allowed to play this game. People thought that if girls played such rough games, nobody would marry them. This was a misconception that exists in our society. Jwala tells that she was a coach of Kabaddi game. There was a misconception when they were young, girls were not allowed to play game. And the concept of the society is that people thought that if girls played such a game, nobody would marry them. This is a misconcept, and they proved it. They also said that the girls had to wear boys to play the game Kabadi. That is why they stopped girls from playing, but it is not a proper way. Okay. The sisters were young when their father died. These three sisters, that means Jwala, Leela, and Hera, their father died very early. Their mother and Mama's maternal uncle brought up them, and both uncles used to play Kabaddi and Kuku. They encouraged the three girls to play Kabaddi. Okay, so their mother and Mama helped them, and they give a proper support to play Kabaddi. Jwala and Leela talks about their experiences almost 50 years ago. When we started to play Kabaddi, girls never got a chance to play this game. Parents did not let them play the game, but we always felt that we should play, and my uncles and mother supported us. We three learned the game, and some other girls also joined us. We formed a Kabaddi club which is active even today. So these three members, Jwala, Leela, and Hera, they tried to make the society in a better way to play Kabaddi. So they started to play Kabaddi with the support of her mother and Mama. Then they started a club Kabaddi. After some times, some other girls also were joined to the club, and it exists even today. Then, remembering those days, Leela and Hera still get very excited when they talk about their matches. They tell how they won some matches which they were about to lose. Loala, Hera are happy to share an experience from their life. They participated in a game and they win because of the strong willpower. Okay, continue. During those matches, some very interesting things happened. Once they had to go to a different towns for a big match. Leela tells the match had to start at 6:30 in the evening. We went to see a movie from 3 to 6 o'clock. We thought we would be back in time for the match. As soon as the movie started, we noticed some noise and disturbance. It was created by our mama, who was looking for us in the hall with a torch. When he found us, he gave a big scolding right there in the cinema hall. Okay, they share their experience. They went to see a movie before that game. Leela and Hera went to see a film. After some times, their uncle came to the hall and he scolded them in that cinema hall. It was the experience of Leela and Hera. Then take the next page. The sisters had to face many difficulties because of Kabaddi, but that did not reduce their fun. Hera, the youngest sister, became a Kabaddi coach. She wishes that children like you should enjoy and play many games, especially Kabaddi. Then there are some questions for you. Have you learned any game from a coach? Which one? It's a question for you. Have you learned any game from a coach? If yes, you can write yes, otherwise you can write no. The next one, do you know of anyone who has learned any game from a coach? You can write the name of any person who learned any game from any coach.